Good evening, everybody. I hope you're well. Welcome to Try It Out Tuesday in September, which has bizarrely become the hottest time of the year. I have no words. I have plenty of words, but none I'm going to share with you right now. Okay. So tonight, what we're going to do is I thought, because the ATC partners for this month's swap have gone up. Okay, if you have missed out on this month's ATC swap in the Bee Crafty Stamps group, do not fret. I'll be putting up the one for next month very soon so that you can sign up. The theme for this one is texture, all about adding some texture. So I thought what we could do is we could have a go at making some ATCs. We're going to use the Doodle Art Rainbow Birds to do that. Hello, Alison. How are you, my darling? And we're going to try and add a bit of texture as well. I won't lie to you and say I've got a plan this week. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't I? I have done a few little cut-out bits ready just in case. But aside from that, yeah, we're going to fly by the seat of our pants a little bit. Because it is the day before the kids go back to school, and I've been rushing around a bit all day. And then I stopped rushing because it got really hot and went for lunch. But I will say, my computer has been a pig all day and I can't get it to open. So, it has all been a bit stressy. So that's why we're going to make a bit of ATCs. Have some fun. Not stress out too much. Alrighty, righty. Okay, so if you haven't seen them before, these are the Bee Crafty Doodle Art Rainbow Birds. Okay, they are wonderfully named because they have a rainbow and birds. You see? See what I did there? Yeah, no, it's good, isn't it? Alright, so in these you get... Okay, your 2 bird stamps, you have a sun, a moon, a rainbow, and then you have free as a bird, joy is when a tiny bird gets to sing a big song, and then tweet, tweet, and hop, hop, that look like they're close together and are going to be one stamp here, but they're not. They are 2 stamps that are most separately. Okay, so yes, I am melting. So if I just disappear at some point, I am sorry. I've got as far as I can. Alright, so these are what we're going to be using this evening. Like I say, I don't really have a plan at this moment in time. Start making plans, words like premeditated, start getting thrown around a courtroom. And we don't want that, do we? No, we do not. So we're going to add a bit of texture to these. We might add on a little bit of scrap paper. Do you know what? Yeah, we'll definitely do that. And maybe might even get some embossing glazes out, bit of texture paste, bit of grit paste. And we'll go along that way. Alright, is that okay with everybody? Now, whilst I have you here, these journaling. Sorry, I was just looking at Sammy's thing. Sammy, that's the bundle for the sketchy birds, darling, not the rainbow birds. Sketchy birds are lovely as well, if you like that. Okay, but these are the Doodle Art Rainbow Birds, my duck. Anywho, if you do like the Doodle Art Rainbow Birds, okay, you've been looking at those, and maybe you may have seen that Sally has got a workshop coming up on the 30th of September. There is actually some stamp and workshop bundles, and I think it's in Workshop Kit 2. Because in that there is 3 stamp sets and a Pick Your Own Dinkable set, okay, including the Rainbow Birds, but the discount you get on that actually gives you the workshop for free. Okay, so it's worth having a look. If you've been looking at Sally's workshop, go and have a look at the bundles on there. Sam will do you a link, because if you're interested in this stamp, it might be worth adding on Sally's workshop, because even if you can't make it on the 30th of September, you can still be added to the group and it will stay live in there and you can go back in. Okay, it'll be recorded live, but you can go back in and watch it anytime you want. Okay, so if you have been looking at Sally's workshop, they're all there. So there's 2 kits that have got stamps in. You've got kit 1, which has got this and the journaling essentials, and then you've got kit 2, which has got this, the journaling essentials, the mixed messages 1, and a dinkable set of your choosing. You just need to put which number in the thing, and then that will crop up. Anyway, let's crack on. We're going to make some ATCs. Well, we're going to get as far as we can before I pass out. Right, so I'm going to get my big blending mat because I don't think I've got it in me to stay tidy enough on a small one. Alright, and in this sort of weather, do we think some smooshing's the way? I think some smooshing's the way to go. I can't lie, boys and girls. So we're going to do some smooshing. I'm going to need some more white card to put my birds on, aren't I? Don't know what that white card is, but it doesn't matter because we'll smoosh it and then we'll, you know, cut it out anyway. Alright, so we're going to, let's smoosh in these 3 distress colours here because they're the ones on my desk. And that is the thought process right there, ladies and gents. Okay, so we're going to put some Rustic Wilderness, some picked raspberry, and that is risky for a biscuit because that could easily go to brown. But they sound like problems to worry about on a cooler day. That's what they sound like, okay? So we're going to mist that, pointing the mister at the blending mat because it works so much better that way. You know, it's not foolproof or anything, but it does work better that way. And then we're going to get our cards. Oh, there wasn't much water on there, was there? Or it's already dried up, you know. There we go. Oh, there we go, that's lovely. Okay. A bit more. I think it is just drying out really quick. Oh, lovely. Number 3. And then last one. I feel like that didn't really get a chance to get much of the picked raspberry. So I'll put a bit more of that on there. With my Mini Mr. Pulverizer. Woohoo! We're going to go in there. See, no, it's too pink. Needs yellow. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, so that is going to be the base for my ATCs. And according to the song, it's all about the base. Okay? So, what we're going to do is we're going to move them just to the side just for a second. I'm going to leave that ink on there because I might want to use it again in a minute. Alright, so I'm just going to put that to the side. See, this would be, if I was prepared, you see, I could do a real, and here's what I prepared earlier. But I'm not, so I can't. Alright, so I'm going to go to my Doodle art stamps, which I've put over here just to confuse myself. And I'm going to take both of these. I'm going to stamp them up. To be honest, I am concerned how big that's going to be quite big on an ATC, that. I purposely made them bigger and then it always catches me by surprise when they are. What can you do? Right, I want to stamp this way. So I'm on my, I can't remember the height of it, but it's the 84mm wide super skinny slim. Okay, these are available individually or you can get them as part of the super skinny set of 4. Okay, so we're just going to stamp that on there. I do actually think I've picked some fancy schmancy watercolour card for my birdies. I'm still trying to sort out. So as I find like white-ish card, I'm putting it all in a box. And then when I need the white-ish card, I'll lift it back out again. I don't think I inked the end of his tail. I didn't. But that's actually okay. Look, I didn't ink the end of his tail at all. But it's actually given a real sort of... It's stopped at a really good point. That's rather good. I'm going to leave that. I'm really chuffed. Okay. And I keep thinking a spider is crawling up my leg, and it isn't. Well, it's not been so far. It's because it was far too hot to put my apron on, so I'm sat on it. So it's the ties that go around the waist are on my chair, and they keep tickling my ankle, and then I keep thinking it's a spider, and I'm going to be eaten alive. I mean, let's face it, that's going to have to be a pretty big spider. But, you know, whatever. Okay, so I'm just going to heat set those, because then we're going to bring in some watercolours. We could even add a bit of texture to those, couldn't we? So when on the ATC challenge, for example, for this month, where it says add texture, there are so many different ways to do that. I'm just going to cut these out. You can do that with, obviously, your texture paste. You know, I think that's the thing we all first think of maybe when we think of texture. Or you can use, and you can do this with all of your Inkables, Dinkables, tags, etc. as well. You could use your embossing machine like your Big Shot or your Grand Caliber, something like that. I would say your Gemini, but I'm worried one of you might ask me the plate sandwich and I don't know it. To actually emboss the cardstock of your ATCs. You could use Stickles gel, embossing powder. Embossing powder gives great texture. Okay, you could do all of those things using, you could do the embossing powder just using an embossing pen and freehand add that texture on. Okay, so, you know, there's lots of different ways of adding texture. It could be adding on some three-dimensional elements, you know, really layering up in a decoupage. That's texture. All right, so there's lots of different ways of adding texture. It's not just a case of, you know, it has to be texture paste. There's lots of different ways. And all I will say is, if you haven't joined the ATC swap and you're thinking, oh, do you know what? I still think that's something I might like to have a go at. Whatever. There's nothing to say you can't. Have a go at making some ATCs. Use the theme, you know, and what have you. And then you can just post them and show us what you've made. Because we absolutely love that. Because we're nosy. Nosy. What's a better word for nosy? Interested. We are very interested in what you're making. Because, you know, we enjoy it. Whilst I've got your captive though, if you could please make sure you're all subscribed to the YouTube channel. You know what, while you're there, put something on to play. It all helps. Okay, as usual. If you see any Bee Crafty posts on social media, give it a little hearty click. And if you've got an extra second, leave us a comment. Again, it all just helps. Okay. Tesco's have spent millions telling people every little helps. Why do you think they do that? Because it works. I mean, you can spell millions if you like, just, you know, it'd be crafty. Not Tesco's, they've got plenty of millions already. Alright. So here is the birds. Okay, so I'm going to drag this back in. Don't they stand beautiful? I have a very new, did I tell you? I've got a very new Versafine Clay. So the lines are very, very intense, which is very nice. Okay, but you can see these are pretty much almost dry. So, you know, we can start messing with them in a minute. No problem at all. Alright, so I'm going to get my paintbrush. And I'm pretty sure these will have dried out. So we're going to start adding some of these colours in to our birds. As you can see, I'm not, in the words of Neil Buchanan, I'm doing it really quick to show you. You know, if you are someone that likes to take a little bit more precision, you can absolutely do that. But the beauty of the Doodle Art range is you don't have to if you don't want to. Okay? Again, if you haven't been here before, the Doodle Art range is all drawn with 3 lines. Okay? So what that means is, if you are cutting them out, and you do one line a bit too close, okay, then just go to the next one. It doesn't matter. If you're colouring in and you go one line too far over, it doesn't matter because there's another one. Okay? You know, it's to create, it's less stress. It's less stress with your doodle art. Okay? We don't want any stress on our crafting. That's not what it's for. I'm just going to add a little. Oh no, that ended up being quite a lot. And I'm just going to swap over just a second. I'm going to take green of that one, go in there. I'm going to take the pink this time and put it in with the green. It's actually quite cool. Alright. That's it, nice and quick. Nothing too stressy. We can add in some more things after, so we don't have to worry. Okay. And I think what I love about these birds is you can sort of really add in the colour. You could paper piece them. You could, you know, you can go as complicated or as simple as you like. It's not set in stone which way you have to be. It can really just sort of evolve however you want. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a bigger brush. My birds over here. I'm going to add in this big Dina brush. I'm going to take some big splats onto our backing cards and onto those. We're going to do the same with the green, so we're really going to water it and then add it on to create these textured drips. And obviously I'm not worried too much about the eye, because what I'll do is I'll go back in there with my Posca pen if I want to add some of that. But what I am going to do is I'm going to grab one of my drying boards. Okay, again, for those of you that haven't been here before, this is a one of the brown non-stick craft sheets, okay, because they're heat proof, and it is stuck to a piece of board. It's actually an old shelf from something, and I use this to dry on so I don't bend my blending mat. Okay. Now, I do get a lot of people say, well, why do you use a blending mat then? Because it's a non-stick craft sheet, you can blend on it. I absolutely can. But if I use my blending mat, you get a truer version of the colour. Obviously, if you're blending on brown, especially if you're using yellows, with regular distress ink and not oxide particularly, you can lose it in the brown. All your pale colours, you're going to lose. Whereas if you're using your blending mat, you can see where what the colours are doing, you can see how they're mixing. So you get a more true to what it's going to come out. I mean, there's no guarantee, obviously, with your distress inks. They do like to freestyle occasionally. But I do find it's just easier to work out. With your blending mat. But these non-stick craft sheets are just brilliant for heating on. Or if you're doing, do you remember a couple of weeks ago I did the embossing enamel with putting the Doodle art mandalas in? You know, this is what I do those on too. Okay. So, if you look, okay, it means you've got all those little speckles on your bird, which just gives something different. But what I've done is I have dried them before I've finished, because what I want to do is add on some picked raspberry, okay, but I wanted it to sit on top and not mix with the green or the mustard, with the rustic wilderness of the mustard seed, okay, and I'm going to make it quite thick as well. It's only one dip of the paintbrush. So I want those pink spots to really be at the front. Like I said, I haven't even really started on how I want the back of the cards to be yet, but I know if I'm going to see spatters, I want to see pink ones. Okay, so we're just going to put them back out here and give them another waft with the heat tool. Alright, here we go. So, sorry, I'm just having a quick look. Anybody got any questions at the moment? No, everybody's good. Marvellous. That's good news. In the words of Giancarlo Fisichella, he's very happy. Alright. So, you can see, you know, you could add more on if you want to. If you really want your spatter to be, for want of a better word, precise, because obviously there's not much precision with your spatter. It does kind of freestyle. But if you do want it to be more precise and it doesn't blend with another colour, you are best to dry between layers. Okay. Alright, let's get rid of our drying board. Okay. I'm just going to straighten these out just a little bit. And if you just look how easy it is to create those beautiful layers and textures of colour. Absolutely stunning. Really, really pretty. Absolutely lovely on there. But what you could do as well, and I have got them down, is I've just got my super tips down here. So you could always just add in a little bit of line definition. There's a shadow. Okay, just to create something a little bit more precise if you wanted to. You don't have to. I'm going to grab pink one. Just going to go a little bit around. That one's probably a little bit dark, but that's okay. Just rolling with it. Just going to take that right. Okay. And it just adds something else to it. Alright. I think my comments have stalled. Yes, they did. Okay. So hello, anybody that I've missed. I've just seen, I've left a little bit of a... It's going to annoy me. That was a little bit too light-handed. There we go. Alright. Well, that was weird. My video took me right back to the beginning. Strange, it was like time travel. But not. Okay. From here, I'm thinking we'd go and we'd do a mix. Choose one of my favourites, a juxtaposition of style. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to take, so we've got this really sort of loose drawn, hand-drawn bird with the sort of inky, splatty, very freestyle colour that we've put on. And we're going to match that. I don't know if I've got any in this box. Yes, I do. Okay, and we're going to match that with sort of like a vintage text book paper. Okay, because that's really going to mix it up. Alright, so this is a sheet from my Shakespeare book. I know I'm still nowhere near the end of it, by the way. Again, if you haven't been here before, what I do is I get books from charity shops that are damaged or broken, and I use them for collage paper. Okay, and this is the complete works of Shakespeare. Only it wasn't complete, hence why I got my hands on it. Alright, but what we're going to do is we're going to stick a piece of these on each card. Okay? Actually, I think what I might do, I might stick it on and then cut it off, and that way I know it's to the edge. If that makes sense. Now, the inks we have used are water-based. Okay? So, to minimise movement, I'm going to put my matte medium on the back of this paper and then matte medium over the top gently. Okay. And then I'm going to cut that off. And then I'll do the same again. That medium the back. Put it onto my ATC. Just a little bit. And then cut off the excess. Okay, and then for our third piece, so we'll just do this skinny one. We'll just do that skinny one. And I'm going to be brave and go straight on. Strange text to pick for this one because it is measure for measure and it's a bit tyrant-y, but that's okay. You know, it's mixing it up and that's what we're liking. Alrighty, so that's on that. So you can see what I was saying earlier. I mean, he's a bold birdie to have on an ATC, and he is going to overhang just a little bit for the traditional sizing, but we're not going to worry about that too much. Now, if I was making these outside of a live, I would leave this to dry on its own. Okay, I wouldn't force it dry. Although I do always say I don't force, I encourage. Not forcing, just encouraging the drying of the matte medium. Okay, but as that dries, you can really see, for me, it really sort of works, okay, as a combination of texture. Okay, this is mixed media right here, because we are mixing both the media we're working with, in terms of we use pens, ink pads, and the matte medium, and the medium we're working on, because we've used plain cardstock, some watercolour cardstock, and the book page. Okay, so when a lot of people think about starting mixed media, they think they need a lot of different things. You don't. You really, really don't. It's just a few bits. It's easy. Okay. So, is that perfectly dry? No. Are we going to let that bother us? Absolutely not. Okay. So, grit paste. We're gonna need some things, aren't we? We're gonna need to add some things on. So, this is the question, where should we go? I am thinking maybe we could go with some Inkables tag sets, okay? I'm thinking maybe, oh yes, some of those from tag set 2. What else have we got? Maybe the arrows from number 1. What else have we got in here? Ooh, I've got this fantastic one. Yes, another Inkable I've trashed with texture paste because I haven't washed it. This is one of our texture discs, and I love this, so we're going to use this one as well. Okay. It's obviously been put in my tub to wash. I haven't got to that bit yet. These things take time. And I'm having one of those things where I'm blaming the fact that, oh, well, the kids are home, you see, I can't get it all done. Yeah, the kids are going back to school tomorrow. Let's see how it gets all done then. Alright, so I'm going to take my spoolie stick, and I'm going to put some grit paste, and I'm putting it over the join of the book print and the inky background, sort of bringing it together. Okay, and then I'm going to dunk that in my cup of water, and then we're going to take some of these arrows, and again I'm going to do it over the join. I'm going to do some of these arrows all the way down, I reckon. Here we go. Oh yes, I think so. That's rather fabulous. Okay, I will say, with a scrubby brush, and that, it will eventually come off. It's just easier to rinse them off. Okay, and then this one here, again, we're going to take our texture. This is opaque distress grip paste. I'm going to go Neener Neener. All the way down. See how I got bolder and bolder with the grip paste as we went on? More and more was getting added. But why wouldn't you look? It's stunning. Lovely. I'm going to be good, and I'm going to wash those straight after my live. Now, I heard that laugh from here, Samantha Green, the other side of the village. Alright. So, again, I'm going to leave that just to dry on its own for a second. I may encourage it dry in a second. But I'm not going to do it right now. Alright. On our Doodle Art Rainbow Bird set, like I said, we've actually got quite a few words that we can pick from. Okay, so what I was thinking is this is a set. We'll stamp out a few of the phrases and then decide how we're going to put them together. But I am probably going to mix them up with mixed messages number 3. Okay, because I want to use the Today is the Day, because I'm going to do 2 birds and a rainbow and sunshine one, where the Today is the Day. Okay, so we'll do the Today is the Day first, and then I can wipe that down and put it away. Seriously, you've got to stop laughing every time I say things like that. Alright. Oh, that was a bit too inky. I'm going to wipe that off and go again. Because I know, stamping that was just too much ink. Tap tap, sorry. My brain's still working on an old Versafine Clair. But I actually have a new one. Did I mention I've got a new Versafine Clair Black? Oh, there you go, you see. Alright. Let's say it's not even been new a month yet. I mean, I've got to keep going on about it for a while. And then I'm going to go with a Free as a Bird. And Hop Hop. I always see him as a little Hop Hop. I'm going to do both of them at the same time. I can give you a good excuse if you like, but it's because I'm lazy. Free as a bird, hop hop. No, lazy is the wrong word, actually. I'm impatient. Is probably a better description. Oh yes, there's plenty of mileage in the new ink pad chat. I reckon I've got at least till October half term. Absolutely. Need something to keep me going. Right, again, because I've got a new Versafine Clair Black ink pad, I am going to give this text a waft to make sure it's set, because otherwise I will smudge it. Okay. Alternatively, and as I have been doing of late, if you have been watching Try It Out Tuesdays, I have been going over it with some clear embossing powder. Because, do you know what? I'm going to show you now. So, there you go. We've heat set that. Okay. If I get some clear embossing powder right now, and go over those, it's still stuck. That's still wet enough. Okay. Your Versafine Clair is a really, really wet ink. Okay. So that's why, to be honest, if you're unsure in any way, a little bit of clear embossing powder. And I have to say, I've been doing it more and more and more, and the black smudges across my projects has decreased phenomenally. So it's worth giving it a go. Okay, giant scissors. Sam went to the shop where these giant scissors came from. It's just a well-known textile retailer, homeware, and bought some because she really liked them last week when she saw me use them. And they've changed, for want of a better description, the recipe for the scissors. And hers are rubbish and don't cut anything. She's gutted. Absolutely gutted. But what can you do? Okay, so I'm going to do, make that one a little bit smaller. Use a trimmer or a guillotine if you wanted to, but I'm okay. As you can see, Sammy, these ones are quite clearly not pants, so I didn't like sell you down the river intentionally or anything. And then Hop Hop, which I've cut on a bit of a jaunty angle, so it's actually going to end up tiny. It is a really small word. It'd be really good for making up the background. A small stamp. And then, but I am going to go to my little tonic scissors. I think they're tonic, yeah. To do some flag ends on each one. So how is everyone anyway? Are we all surviving the heat okay? I think the problem is it just took us all by surprise. You know, we had that sort of foggy weather and we're like, right, okay. Autumn's coming, we've embraced it, it's alright. It can start to get cooler. And then it was like, nah, you're alright actually, we've decided to come back in with a bit of sunshine at the last minute. Here's a bird. Okay. And we're going to do a really long flag on this one. With I haven't decided if I'm going to layer these up on black. I may still do that. Just to give them a little black border. But I don't know. Haven't decided. Alright. So I did say... It's nearly dry. I did say I might do some embossing glaze, didn't I? But I just don't think we've got the room now I've done the texture paste. But we could add on, just for a little bit more texture, some sequins, couldn't we? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to get the drawing board back out. And I'm going to put these back on. I'm going to move those up slightly. Okay, as we encourage our grit paste to dry. I mean, it really doesn't need to be forced. It dries quite quick, so this really is an encouragement job. Yeah. That'll do. It's just because I'm going to be putting some more gel medium on top. Now, so I'm going to do a rainbow in a sunshine, okay, on the Today's the Day one, but they haven't been coloured in yet. So I'm going to get my mat back again. Okay, what did I do with my little brush? Did anyone see where I put my little brush? That's my little Dina brush as well. Nope, I got nothing. Okay, so I just have to grab another brush for now. Don't worry, I won't make you wait. We'll take our mustard seed and we'll go in here and do all of our rays. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mix a little bit of picked raspberry in. Just to give it a little bit of punchiness. And then a little picked raspberry flick. It's not really wet enough now. There we go. Okay. Over there, and then here So we'll do that big raspberry one there. So this is obviously not going to be, for want of a better description, proper rainbow colours. It's going to be a mix of rainbow colours. We'll do the green, and a bit more greeny. There we go. And obviously it will leave the clouds white. Alright, so you're starting to see how they're coming together. Brilliant. Okay. So I'm going to use my collage medium to stick these together. And we're going to do a sentiment first. I'm going to put that right across the middle. And I actually really like that sun at the top, so I'm going to put against the pink. I'm going to put the sun there. Possibly don't need that much, Bev. And the rainbow there. Okay, now because the bird is so big, I'm going to put the bird on first. This, okay. And then we're going to go in. I see I've swapped them over with the freezer bird on the top of there. Bring them a little bit further down. Okay, and that's the thing, your gel medium gives you just that little bit of time. So I'm just going to have to hold that up. Yeah. It is straight. Where it was. Okay, and then we're going to go with this gorgeous little guy here. And then a hot pop. Okay, so I think the good thing about these is they've actually covered quite a variety of topics and techniques that even you might have heard of in papercraft but not yet had a try of, and things like that. Okay, so these are using the Doodle Art Rainbow Birds stamps, okay. So make sure you go and check those out on the website. There is other Doodle Art stamps as well if you enjoy that style. Okay, I would also like you to check out on the website Sally's upcoming workshop. She is going to be using these stamps and possibly the sketchy birds, but she is going to be using these and you can get them as part of a bundle with her workshop as well. You can buy the workshop on its own. You absolutely can. Okay, sorry, I just did a little zoom in so you can see the colours a bit better. So make sure you check those out. Sally is also here tomorrow evening and she's going to be giving you another little sneak peek to that workshop. But like I say, the question I've been being asked most, because I've had lots of messages about the workshop, is will we be able to watch it again? And if I can't come on that day, can I still do it? Okay. Yes to both of those things, okay? Yes, you can watch it again. The group, because it'll be in a private group on Facebook, okay? That group will stay live for as long as they leave it. They leave it, not us, because we'll leave it forever. Okay? Which also means you can buy it now, and then if you can't make it on the day, you can do it later in the day or something like that. And they'll all be there. So go and have a look. Sam's put a link on for you now, and I will be reminding people about this workshop throughout the month. But Sally will also be here tomorrow night. She'll be showing you a sneaky peek of the actual project. Okay, so if you fancy a look, make sure you're here tomorrow night at 8 PM to have a look at that. Thank you so much, guys. Like I say, if you want to join in the ATC swaps, then get yourself over to the Bee Crafty Stamps group. The one for October will be going up soon. September's is already underway. But Sally has also got a new challenge running, okay? And now for a challenge, you can make ATCs, a scrapbook page, a journal page, cards, whatever you like, as long as it's using Bee Crafty stamps or Inkables or so on. Okay, so go on over, have a look. You could win yourself a voucher to use on stamps. Why not have a go? All right then, guys, thank you so much for joining me on this hot September Eve. Go and have a fantastic rest of your evening. Bye-bye.